And now, ladies and gentlemen, it is my great pleasure to introduce to you our very special guest for this evening. Let's have a nice round of applause for Espen Kraft. How you doing, man?
Woohoo! Thanks, guys. It's an honor to be on your show, really.
We're the ones who are honored.
Yeah, the pleasure is all ours. I mean, I'm just so excited to have you on. Now, you're from Norway, right?
I'm from Norway, the land of fjords, yes.
Now,
Yes.
I got to just put it out there. There is some fascination that I have, and I don't know how it developed, but I'm not even joking. I've been listening to Norwegian Pop for the past 2-3 years, and I love it. You know, Sigrid?
Yes.
Yes.
Of course.
She's
Sigrid,
pretty
she's
popular.
very well known here as well. Very popular.
Yeah, and Astrid S.
Absolutely. She's one of the trio. We have Aurora, I don't know how you pronounce it, but Aurora, Sigrid, and Astrid. Those are the three very popular women, female singers in Norway right now. Yes.
I'm like so addicted to it. There is also I'm not even joking, there's an NPR station you guys have over there. I think it's like P3, and you have a show called Christine.
Absolutely, Christine Danke. She's a very popular DJ in Norway, and she always breaks out new talents, and she's great. Yes.
It's incredible. So like I've just had this kick that I've just been on for really about 2-3 years now, and I don't understand a word you guys are saying, but I love it. The language is absolutely beautiful. Like, I think it might be my most favorite language. I don't know what it is. I think it's the way you pronounce your L's. I think it's just very interesting and intricate.
Okay, thanks. I appreciate it.
Norway's probably got the best tourism ads ever because it's just the fjords, the photos of the landscape.
It's beautiful.
It's just, I think everybody who sees pictures of Norway just says that's a place I need to go visit.
It's Norway and Finland. So both of those places, like, that's on my bucket list. I got to get over there one of these days. I'm just going to take just this pilgrimage and just head out there, and it's just beautiful.
Do it, man. And another thing is that if you visit any of the countries in Scandinavia, like Norway, Sweden, Denmark, and Finland as well, we understand each other's languages as well. So you get 4 at the price of 1, really.
That's incredible.
That's impressive too. I know. I hear the Finns also speak Russian, don't they?
The Finns have the Finnish language isn't really like Norwegian, Danish, or Swedish, but they have a thing of their own. But they also learn Swedish at school, so they're bilingual in a way. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
As long as you speak English, I'm happy.
Yeah. we learn English from the day we started school here in Norway. So pretty much everyone in Norway can speak English to some degree and understand it as well.
Oh, that's incredible.
Sweet. I think most people know who you are, especially in the Synthwave, Synth Pop, retro, 80s scene.
Yeah.
I mean, you've been doing music for just forever, it seems. Like, I know you've definitely been in the music business for a while. How long have you been doing music? When did you start?
Well, I'd have to reveal my age if I'm going to be truthful. But let's put it like this: I started making and playing, actually more than making, but playing the keys when I was about 9 or 10.
Wow.
So I've been doing it for a long time, and I immediately knew when I touched a set of keys for the first time that this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. And it turned out I could actually make a living from playing the keys and doing music from pretty early on. So I've been very fortunate.
That is incredible.
Yes.
Now you've been putting up all these how-to YouTube videos and Facebook videos, and
yeah, that started really just 3 years ago. I was kind of fed up with doing all kinds of modern music for clients and artists and TV radio and stuff like that. So I just wanted to go back to my true love, 80s synth pop, and I just wanted to make a channel to just release some songs. But ironically, this has taken off in a way I never anticipated. So it's very funny for me to see that I'm getting even more response now for my personal music than I ever did as a professional working for other people. So it's amazing, really.
it probably has something to do with the fact that, well, synthwave isn't the biggest genre, but there are a lot of musicians or up-and-coming musicians who try to find ways to emulate or to hit those sounds of the 80s.
Yeah.
And when you come across my nickname for you, the Professor of Synth, when you come across one of those videos, it's all of a sudden, it's like the Enlightenment.
Yeah, I also think that the way I'm doing it, using original hardware from the actual 80s, there's not too many artists making synthwave that actually does it that old school way today. So I might have some angle that people find fascinating when they're going into YouTube and checking out stuff, perhaps more than just watching some guy work on a screen all the time and a screencast. Seeing those old synths and hardware really seems to resonate with people, a lot of people.
So you definitely are more of a hardware than a software type of producer, I guess?
I'd say I'm basically only hardware. Although I use a DAW to record stuff, I don't have big tape machines anymore. That's just too much for my place right now in terms of space. But yes, I use a DAW to record, and I use plugins sometimes when it comes to effects and stuff. But the sounds themselves are all done with hardware. Yes.
Oh, that's amazing.
One thing I'm curious about, so I know like Scandinavia in general has a pretty good population of synth or retro artists.
Yeah.
But it seems like Norway is like the smallest one, because Sweden has plenty. The Finns are growing. And then like I guess off the top of my head, like recently we were introduced to an artist, John Cow, who does like vocal synth. And then you've got Glenn Main, of course, from Norway.
Yeah.
And then yourself, and then a couple of other more instrumental artists like Motive and Lights AM. Those are the only ones I can think of. I'm missing somebody, I'm sure, but
yeah, you have Anders Jensen. I don't know if you heard that name. EOX Studios. He does a lot of 90s inspired synth pop as well. Very, very cool guy. He's a friend of mine, actually. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
Lesson learned.
Check him out. Yeah.
I'm typing it in now.
yeah, do it. And the Swede thing versus Norway, that's really based in history. So that's really a long story how it came to be that Sweden produced so many artists so much more than Norway. But because there's always been this duel between Norway and Sweden, who is the bigger brother, and Sweden has always been the bigger brother to Norway in many ways, cultural ways. So it boils down to a lot of history in that. But Sweden was way ahead of us in terms of ABBA and Ace of Base and lots of stuff.
Yeah. ABBA Jr.
Yeah, right, exactly. So, but we did produce Aha in the 80s, if you remember them.
Dennis, do you know who Aha is?
Oh, yeah, of course I do.
Of course, like that's an anthem of the 80s.
That really makes songs up for everybody. Like if you guys came out with Aha, like you guys earn your stripes already right there. So.
Yeah, Take On Me was number one at Billboard Hot 100 in 1985 in October, actually.
Yeah, 1985. There you go.
I remember that video. It was incredible. Like with the rotoscoping.
Oh yeah,
groundbreaking.
It was. It really was.
Yeah.
Not only that, the song is catchy and it's an anthem.
It is. It is an anthem.
It is. I want to see a good cover of that. Like I'm sure
they have.
That's
the thing. I think most people when they try to sing like that, their voice cracks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That falsetto is.
He has an incredible range, and he's still got it. They're still touring. Not right now, but they have been up until the Corona. Yeah.
Earlier this year, I saw a YouTube clip of them performing on stage somewhere, and oh no, it was a YouTube clip with them with an orchestra behind them.
Sure.
Yeah,
they released
doing that
their
song.
own songs. Yeah. Right.
It was incredible. He was still hitting. Oh.
Yeah, he's awesome. He's one of the most talented singers Norway's ever produced. Really.
That's incredible.
That's a feather in your cap.
So obviously you had that song that you had put out, which was amazing, that we had the pleasure of debuting on the show last week. And thank you, by the way.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Which one is that? Shoplifting?
No, Shoplifting is the new one released yesterday, actually. You're thinking of Somewhere or Nowhere, featuring Vic 20. Yeah.
Yes, Vic 20.
Yeah.
So I guess you're working on maybe an album or an EP, or you're just kind of happy putting out like the singles, I guess you'd say.
Well, I did my last album in 2017, and basically for an artist like myself, releasing so much videos and stuff, the album format is really not something I pursue at the moment, because I'm basically laying all my 11, 12 eggs in one basket, and once I release it, they're gone. But versus a single, I can sort of milk a single for a longer time than an album, if you know what I mean.
No, it's absolutely true. In fact, a lot of producers like doing that. It seems to be the new way just kind of get out there, because you can put a lot of buzz around a song, and then you're right, like once you release like 13 in a shot, it's like you could have like 4 or 5. It's like kind of like a sound orgy, but it's like, when it's over, it's like people just kind of move on. And
I grew up with the LPs on vinyl. The album format is something I love. I still listen to albums myself, but I'm not seeing myself doing a lot of 12, 14 songs albums anytime soon. But things can change, of course.
Yeah, I guess everyone can just have those streaks every now and then where you're like, oh my God, I'm sitting on like 6 songs. I didn't even realize.
Yeah, exactly. So I write songs all the time. So I have a large collection of unreleased material. So I have enough material, but let's see how it goes.
Yeah.
By the way, I got to thank you again. You let us put your song Tonight on our little mental health compilation last year.
Yes.
Great song. One of the things I like about your format of dropping these singles, one single could be very, very retro 80s pop sounding. Another one could be a little more synthwave.
Yeah, exactly.
I love the fact that every time an Espen Kraft song drops, you don't know what you're going to hear, but it's always massively produced.
Thank you. I like it. I like what you're saying, because although if people ask me what type of genre do you make your music in, I'd always say synth pop, because synth pop, vocal based synth pop is what I grew up with. That's what I love the most, if you know what I mean. But the synthwave genre, where you do mostly instrumentals and you can sort of pan out an ambience or soundscape, it's something I love as well. So it's nice to sort of mix and match depending on my mood, what I'm going to make, and ultimately what I'm going to release.
So, like, for instance, songs like Midnight Drive 3, for instance, your last one, the arcade, that would be, I would call that more synthwave.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree.
Songs like Tonight would be more synth pop, and
absolutely
especially very, very, very retro 80s.
Exactly.
I love it.
Thank you. Midnight Drive, since you mentioned Midnight Drive, that's actually something I've been thinking about making 10 Midnight Drive versions and release that as an album.
Midnight Drive 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
That would be amazing.
I have 3 more in my drawer.
What? So, speaking of which, by the way, for those listening, I mean, most people will know where to find you, but obviously espenkraft.bandcamp.com.
Yeah, and espenkraft.com is my site. I don't know how many actually visit my site, because it's only mostly a gateway to my other social media sites. But Bandcamp, Spotify, Apple Music, I'm everywhere, really.
Awesome.
Jules, what do you think? Let's go ahead and cut to a song. What do we got here?
Yes, Espen Kraft. He's got this new single out. It's called Shoplifting. And you're hearing it here on NightRide FM.
slick as a ferret. What looks good? I better start around, find someone new, and recruit my own crew. Shoplifting in my hometown. We're going shoplifting today. Shoplifting. So much fun. Shoplifting.
I'm trying to think of another genre of music where it's this much fun and this easy to connect with the artists that make the music you like. I don't think there is one, at least not globally.
Yeah, it's really tough. I can't think of any other genre where I've had such a connection with the artist and just the entire community. Not just the artist, but the community. It's almost like if you are in this community, you feel like you can kind of approach anybody and at least just have a chat, have a beer, have a talk, because you always have this common thing, and it's just this love for the nostalgia of this thing that is synthwave, which is, you know, much more than just the music. It's kind of a whole culture, which is fascinating.
Absolutely. I think the nostalgia is the thing that binds us all together in a friendly and fun way.
I've always said something about the retrowave or synthwave or synth pop scene. It reminds me a lot of, you know, when you go to a Comic-Con,
Yeah.
all those people, they have a niche interest and they found their little niche, whether it's comic books, whether it's movies, whether it's video games. There's a certain type of person that gravitates a community. And I find that synthwave, synth pop, retrowave, it's the same thing, but in musical format.
Absolutely. It brings out the little kid inside ourselves, I think.
That's it. That's exactly it.
Yep. And there's not a lot of aggression. I mean, I've never walked up to somebody in the community and walked up to them and been like, hey, let's talk about things. And like all of a sudden, you know, they're like aggressive or like a jerk. They're always like the nicest people. And it's like, you know, yeah, I met such and such and he's so nice.
Unless you find yourself at a Carpenter Brute concert, then all of a sudden a mosh pit breaks out.
That is true. But it's a loving kind of mosh pit.
Yeah.
Nice.
They want to tear your face off, but in a nice way. You know, they're so nice while they're doing it.
Once again, everybody, we're speaking with Espen Kraft. Go visit his website, espenkraft.com. That's craft with a K as in craftwork.
Yes, that's right. And in Norwegian, craft means power.
Whoa.
Ooh. Espen Power. I bet many people who didn't know that was your real name would probably think that craft was a nod to Kraftwerk.
Yes, I actually get that question a lot,
it just works.
Most are, it just works. Yeah.
I mean, if I had a name, you know, Espen Power, I would be like, why would I even want to change that?
Yeah.
It's an amazing thing.
Yeah. Actually, the craft name is actually coming from Sweden because I have some Swedish blood running through my veins. So I'm part Swedish, really. Yeah.
All right. So we can't talk about those dirty Swedes in that way.
Sure.
Those guys.
I do it all the time.
But this has been a lot of fun. And again, I really thank you for being on the show. This is just such a pleasure. And I can't wait for what you got coming out next. I can't wait for the next video. Now, you put those videos out. Is that like a weekly or monthly kind of thing that you do?
Yeah, each Friday a new video.
Oh, there you
Awesome.
go.
And I put in some Tuesday videos as well. That's more like a bonus video. That topics can vary a lot, but the Fridays are really my main day of releasing videos.
So you know what? It's the equivalent of a master class, but for synthwave. Why bother signing up and paying Deadmau5
I know.
to teach you something? Just subscribe to Espen Kraft's YouTube and Facebook.
Well, Deadmau5 is really, I think he's awesome as an artist, and I love a lot of his music. And he has that. He's a star, so of course he can charge whatever he wants, and a lot of people will gravitate towards his lessons. But I hope to bring my own thing to the table, and hopefully, and I know a lot of people appreciate what I do as well.
Absolutely.
And yeah, we're the ones honored to have you on the show.
We're all honored.
So anyway, you take care, and thanks again. And once again, guys, if you are listening, check out Espen Kraft's YouTube, and of course, go to his Bandcamp. And Jules, what's his Bandcamp once again?
Espen Kraft with a K .bandcamp.com. But of course, as Espen said, just visit his website, espenkraft.com, and from there you can jump off to his YouTube, SoundCloud, Facebook, Twitter, Bandcamp, Apple Music, you name it.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
Thanks so much, man.
Thank you.
Thank you, Espen. Have a good night.
Thank you. Cheers.
All right.
All right.